Welcome back. Today I take you to a different topic called variables. What are variables? That is what somebody will add. That when we say variable, what does it mean? As we came to level 100, that's what I was also going through because I didn't know anything about variables. I didn't even know what the data type is, and it was a kind of a help for me that I had to Google, I had to read some materials, I have to ask my senior course mates for them to explain what variable is to me. The best and the simple way that I can explain variable to you is that variable is just like a container that holds data. When you read different books, they say variables are like a memory location in the computer program that stores data. That is a variable. In a simple put, variable is just like a container that you put your data into it. So let's say you visit a mall and there is a cart there. That's car like a tricycle thing that they push and they put their shopping items in it. That is it. So we assume that cart is a variable, and then any item that we will pick, we put them inside that cart. That is a variable. We can also make mention of an envelope. The envelope becomes our variable, and then the data that we put inside the envelope becomes our value or the data value. So variable being the envelope as a container that is holding the data, the letter that we have already written. Okay, we take capsules and its container. We have the container and then we put the capsules inside the container. It means that we have encapsulated our data into the container. So whatever we see the container, we see that there is this capsules in it. Okay, so in an actual sense, it is the container that is holding the capsules. So we take the capsules as our data. So we said that the variable is like a memory location, or variable is like a container that holds data. So we put data inside our variable. Okay, I will start declaring a variable and then I assign value to variables, and you understand all these concepts very well. And please, as it propels, as the video propels, I will try to mix the Twi and the English for your easy understanding. Okay, so variables. You can say variables are a memory location in the computer program that stores data. A variable is a memory location in the computer program that stores data. Or variable is like a container. It's like a container that stores like a container. Sorry. That stores data. Okay, so that is a variable. So it's like a memory location in the computer program that stores data, or a variable is like a container that stores data. Okay, now why do we need variables in our computer program? Why do we need a variable? We need a variable in our computer program. We will need to declare our variable. So why variables? Why variables? Okay, so we need the variable when we want to accept a user input. So when we want the user to enter something in the computer program, then we have to declare the data that the person will enter into the computer program. So we have to declare that as a variable. Okay, so assuming that I'm writing a simple program that will accept the person's name, the person's age. Clearly we know that the person will enter his name, the person will enter his age. Because the person will enter a name and then the age, then we need to declare the variable name, so that when the person enter the name, that whatever name the person will enter will be stored in the variable that we have declared in the program. It will be stored in that variable. Okay, so assuming that I have declared my variable name, then there is a section in the scope in the computer program that is asking me to enter my name. So whatever name that I will put there, that name will go to the variable that I've already declared as name. Then it will go, that name will hold the data. That is why we say that a variable holds data. So that name will hold the data. Okay. Alright, so that is why we declare variables. So we declare the variable when we want to accept a user input. So whenever the person, a user will enter something at the input scope, then we need to declare what the person will input there as a variable, so that whatever the person will write there will be held by the variable name that we have created. Okay. Alright, so that is all about the variable and then the data type. Now, how do we declare our variable? How do we declare our variable? How do we declare variables? How do we declare variables? Now we know why we need to declare our variable, or we know why we need a variable. Okay, then how do we, because there are rules, there are some various rules that we need to abide when we declare variables. There are various rules that we need to abide when we declare variables. One of the rules is, rules in declaring variable. Rules in declaring variables. First rule, we are saying that the variable does not accept white spacing. It means that when you have two words as variable, assuming you're declaring your name, so you want to write my name, all right, you want to use my name as a variable, so you declare the variable my name. Now my name is two words, my and name. You can't write my then space name. You get it? You can't write my and name, then you leave. This is what we call the white space. The space here is the white space, so we don't space it out, we write and put them together. Okay, so here my name will be this, my name. That is how we declare variable, because we don't want to leave space in the variable declaration. Okay, we don't want to leave space in the variable name. So one, there shouldn't be white space, so no white space, no white space. Okay. Two, there are some special characters that we can't use them to declare variables. Special characters like question mark, plus, exclamation mark, plus, exclamation mark, the space bar, the asterisk, the pound sign. All these characters can't be used as variable names. We can't use them as our variable name. So these characters can't be used as variable names. All right. Point 3, or rule number 3. We can't use integers or numbers. We can't prefix our variable with a number. So variable can't be started with a number. So when we are giving a variable, when you are giving our variable name, when you are writing our variable name, we don't start the variable name with a number. So like for my name, it's wrong because of this figure. Because of this thing here, it makes it a wrong way of declaring a variable. You can't write 5 my name, 9 my name. No. There shouldn't be a number prefixing your variable name, but rather my name 4 is accepted, my name 5 is accepted, my name 4 is accepted, my name 9 is accepted, but for my name is not accepted. Please take note of it. Take note of it very well when you are declaring a variable. Now, knowing how to declare a variable is very key, it's very basic and very fundamental in being a programmer. Knowing how to declare variables, knowing the appropriate data type that you need to assign to the variable, is a very essential, is quintessential in writing or being a good computer programmer. So please take note of them. Okay, so these are the rules and the conventions that we need to follow when we are declaring a variable. One, it does not take a white space. Two, it does not take special characters like underscore, like like the question mark, the plus, the exclamation mark, the asterisk, the dollar. Those special characters can't be used as a variable name. And then we don't use, or we don't begin it with, we don't prefix, or don't prefix your variable, don't prefix your variable name as an with an integer, with an integer. With an integer. So we don't prefix our variable name with an integer. So these are the rules. These are some of the rules that abide variable naming or variable declarations. All right. Now we also have various naming conventions. In declaring a variable. We have so many ways in declaring a variable. So how do we declare our variable? We have three main ways of declaring a variable, or three main notations of declaring our variable, or three main conventions of declaring our variables. So variable naming convention. Variable naming convention. All right. Variable naming convention. We have three. One is the Pascal notation. Two is the camel casing. Camel case. And then three is the snake notation. Camel case notation. Okay. All right. So I'll take my time to explain all these one after the other. What a Pascal notation is, what a camel case notation is, and what a snake notation is. Okay. So, one, Pascal notation. Now, we said that variables must not have white space. So, assuming that you have this, a variable with two names that you want to combine them. But look here. Where is it? My name variable that I declared them. Okay. Now the rule is saying that we shouldn't have a white space in the variable naming convention. So we don't need to have a white space. Don't need to leave space between the two names of the variable. So what do? Then we need to write and put them together. So this, my name is wrong. Where is it? Okay. Writing my name is wrong. So we need to put it together. We need to put the my and then the name together. But look here. This is not readable. Reading my name, even these are only two words, so at least it might be friendly. It might be friendly to read. But when you have a variable which has a name, which has a long name, for that one, writing them together will be very difficult to read. Okay, so writing this my name will be difficult for somebody to read. But the rules it's also saying that we should write and put both words together. So what do? That is where we use the Pascal naming convention or the Pascal naming notation. Okay, so what does the Pascal naming notation say? The Pascal naming notation is saying that although the two words are combined, okay, but each first letter of every word must be capitalized. Okay, so each first letter of every word must be capitalized. So that my name, the first letter of the my must be capital, then the rest should be small. The name, the first letter of the N of the name should be capital, and then the rest should be small. So this one, that my name will be my name. Good. So when you write it this way, it makes it easy to read. Okay, it makes it easy to read. So let's say I'm declaring a variable called your age. Look here, your age. This is your age, and this is your age. Sorry. Which one is easy to read? If you want to compare both, which one is easy to read? Obviously the second one. The second one is easy to read than the first one. So although the words are two which are combined, but using the Pascal naming notation, you capitalize each first letter of every word. You capitalize it, or you make it capital. So your age becomes capital Y-O-U-R. The age, you get capital A then G-E as naming a variable in a Pascal naming notation. It is not by force, it's not compulsory. We don't restrict you, it's not obligatory to use a specific naming notation. You can choose to use Pascal naming notation, you can choose to use the camel case naming notation, and you can also choose to use the snake naming notation. So take note, the Pascal naming notation is to capitalizing every first letter of each word in the variable. Alright, thank you. So that is all about the Pascal naming notation. We move ahead to the camel casing. Okay. Camel case notation. Now, what does the camel case notation also say? Camel case notation states that the first letter of every word becomes small. Okay, the first letter of every word becomes small, and then the rest become uppercase. And then the second, if the words are two, so like my age, the first letter becomes small letter, and then the Y becomes capital. Then the next word, the first letter becomes small, and then the age GG becomes capital. Now this is how the camel case works. It took an inspiration from the animal camel. You see how the back of the camel looks like? It is on a low, then it goes up, then it comes down like this. The animal called camel, the back is on the low, then it goes up, then it comes down. So the same way we declare our variable in the camel case notation. So the camel case, my age here, my age. Sorry. The camel case, my age becomes small letter. Sorry, small letter. My age, like this. So this is how we declare a variable in a camel case notation. The first letter should be small, and then the rest should be capital, and then the next word, the first letter should be small, and then the rest should be capital. That is what a camel case notation. Now, the last one that we are talking about is the snake notation, which is not that quite popular. Even if it is popular, most of the programmers don't call it snake notation. Most of the programmers prefer to call it using the underscore, but the appropriate name is the snake notation. Now, snake notation. What does the snake notation say? You can write it anyhow. You can write it any way you want it, either the camel case or Pascal notation. You can put all the words together, you can put the 2 words together, you can put 3 words together, but make sure each word must be separated, or each 2 words must be separated with an underscore. Okay, so the 2 words must be separated with an underscore. So assuming I'm having my age, fine, it doesn't care, but use underscore to separate them like this. So my age is accepted whilst use underscore. So you write my age together, no space, then you put it in the middle, and then you use underscore to separate them. Okay, so my name becomes this. My name becomes this. Okay, so now we know how to declare variables, we know what a data type is. Please, I don't want to pile up the videos to the point that it becomes so annoying and it becomes so lazy. I don't want the video to be too lengthy for you to watch. So I'll be releasing the videos every week, bit by bit. Okay, so here is where we end for today. In our next lecture, we'll tackle how to assign value to a variable, that is variable assignment or variable initialization and uninitialized variable. That is where we will learn how to put data inside a variable, and we see a variable which has no data. That is where we will also know how to declare a variable proper, how to combine the data type and then the variable together, and then we pass a value to it. Okay, so next week please expect the next video. Thank you very much.